Hello everyone. I don't really need to introduce myself now, I don't think, but for those of you that don't know, I'm Darren, problem gambler. Last bet 7th of June 2016. Okay. Hope everyone's well. Sorry for the massive absence. I'll go into that a little bit more as the video and the waffle unfolds. So, I'll tell you a little bit about what's been going on, and what's been whirring around in my scatty brain, and talk that over and waffle about it, I expect. So winter's here. To be honest with you, I always struggle with winter. As soon as the clocks mess about and it's dark when you get up, dark when you go to bed, it's just it screws with my head, something rotten really. I don't know, it's a lot of people suffer with it and get down, but it's quite depressing, and I think I mentioned it in some other videos. I do suffer with that from time to time, long before I gambled really, so I think depression has been a part of me for a while. So at the minute I'm battling on, but I'm struggling a little bit, just keeping chipper. I don't hide it as well as I think I do, which has become quite apparent of late. So I thought I could flag people and just get on with it, but it's been highlighted that I'm not on form. But yeah, it's just time of year. I mean, it happens every year to me, like clockwork, to be fair. That change, that transitional period from staying light a little bit, as soon as it starts getting dark really early, I'm shit for a bit, and takes me a little bit of time to adapt, So that's one of the reasons, obviously not, that I haven't been on, I suppose, because I don't know, just haven't really felt like it. Also, I've been really busy with work and stuff, and I had a load of paperwork to backtrack over. Long story short, a bloke I've done some work for didn't pay some taxes and stuff, and I've had to go through all of my stuff trying to work out what was what at my end, but I'm all good, but just trying to dot the I's and cross the T's, if you want. So there's that, but I wanted to sort of like talk about this depression type thing. Don't get me wrong, I mean, I'm not feeling totally crap. I'm still functioning, I'm still going to work. I'm kind of, I want company, but I'm craving isolation at the minute. That's the way I put it, and it's an odd feeling, because I know I need people around me and need to do things, but I'm just doing what I need to do to survive, and that's just going to work and then shutting it all off. And I mean, to the outsider, it's it probably seems really odd, because I'm not like that 9 months of the year. I mean, I'm not, but and I will gradually get used to this winter period, and I'll come out of it a little bit, but I'm not the only one that struggles with it, so I'm not pleading sympathy from everyone. I'm just I'm used to it, I'm encroaching on 40, so it's like I'm used to it now, but it's a hard pill to swallow every year, that you've got to go through this crap. Maybe sort of a month or 5 weeks of feeling a bit shit and just surviving really. It's hard to get up in the morning, and it's hard to keep yourself motivated, but we're getting there. So hence the reason I've come and done the vid, because I'm hoping that getting a bit of shit off my chest and shoulders, or what have you, it's going to perk me up a little bit, and I already feel good just for having a waffle to you guys, so that's great, Anyway, so yes, so the depression thing, like I said, I've suffered with it for a long time. The comparison, how it ties in with gambling has always kind of interested me. Yeah. So I mean, my biggest thing was, did I used to gamble because I was depressed, or was the depression caused by the fact I was gambling? Um, you know, obviously, I think looking back now, I mean, I have suffered with depression. I can't really recall um, the time before I gambled, because obviously I was gambling at sort of 17 and stuff, 16, 17. So I can't really, up till, you know, 3 and a bit years ago. So I can't really picture that time and think, well, I don't know, can kids get depressed? Oh, of course they can, I suppose. But I don't recall that period. So I've got nothing to go with. So I'm just thinking the two in my life sort of ran side by side, but it's the chicken and the egg thing, isn't it? It's what come first. Obviously now I'm not gambling, and I've gotten this period of time without doing so. It remains. So it's for me, it's that managing it, and trying to, and that's the other one. Let's go on to that. Fucking hell, Darren. So when I was doing these, tax issues and stuff, I mean, I pulled up a load of historical bank statements and stuff, and I was looking through lots of bits and bobs, and it was quite a depressing read, to be fair. I mean, the printer was on overdrive. The last 3 years, I mean, I was printing out sort of 20 pages for a bank statement of the year. Prior to that, I was doing 20 pages per month, and it was just ram-packed full of online, gambling transactions and stuff. And it was really, like, it really shocked me. Obviously I knew I was gambling and I was fluffing everything I had, but it was amazing to see the extent of it and to see it on paper. And of course, if you're an online gambler, this is the danger to it. I mean, it is a paperless addiction, isn't it? If you're gambling online, you're just pumping a number in, and most of the casinos save your card details and stuff. So all you've got to type in is your 3-digit number on the back of your card. Most people can't remember that. Gambler will. I'll tell you, you know it off by heart, because you're typing it in all the time. So, looking back at that, it was, it really opened my eyes to sort of the extent and the patterns, and this depression thing with the winter and stuff. I kind of saw it in my bank statements. It was really weird, the summer months I kind of, I was out and about doing stuff and enjoying the sort of sunny evenings and what have you. And, I think sunshine just chips everybody up, doesn't it? It's the vitamin D thing, So, but come what the winter, I noticed that my gambling was, on paper, definitely there. It was definitely out of control. Don't get me wrong, I was still gambling during the summer, but it seemed to take on a whole new level during the winter months. So that's obviously a reflection of, kind of how I was feeling, and I was looking for some moral support and some sort of pick me up, And as we all know, gambling ain't the core, the root. Fucking hell, what? It's not the saviour to you if you're feeling crap, is it? It's one of the big things that the GamCare and stuff say. Don't gamble if your mood's not right. But I mean, most people that are gambling to escape something, isn't it? Escape gambling is another term to it. You've got your compulsive gambler, problem gambler, escape gambler. It's you're doing it. Same for drinking. People drink to excess because they want to escape something. Take drugs. They want to feel a high so they don't feel so shit. But obviously the backlash to that is that once the drugs are worn out, once the drink's gone, and you're sobered up, it's 10 times worse, isn't it? You know, we all know that. So the correlation between this depression and gambling was really obvious on paper. So that's something I wanted to highlight that I just found out. It's looking back at it, it definitely was worse. In the winter months and approaching Christmas, there was trends, of how much money I'd have in my bank. And leading up to Christmas, I was normally doing okay. There was not mega money in there, but enough to sort of, go out for meals and stuff over Christmas and get presents and stuff. And then once all that had been dealt with, and then there was that festive lap, if you like, between Christmas and New Year, I seem to take full advantage of that, and that goes to that money, time, opportunity thing, doesn't it? So I've got the time, I've got the opportunity, and the money sat there, and I'm doing fuck all. Christmas is over. It's that kind of big build up is gone, isn't it? And then you just sat there twiddling your thumbs waiting for New Year, really, and then all you're doing is waiting to go back to work, aren't you? So I like Christmas. Christmas, I've got no problem with it at all. And I've said in my past videos I had a great childhood and some great memories, so I've got no problem with this time of year as such. It's just obviously part of who I am, isn't it? There's no reason for me, to dislike this, this seasonal time. It's just the way I operate. I'm like a fucking hedgehog in hibernation or something. It's like clockwork. But I understand it. That's the first point of call. I mean, I'm not gonna, start necking a load of bottles or anything to get over it, or revert back to gambling. That's exactly not what I'm going to do. I'm now quite focused on looking at ways of improving this, and seeing what I can do in the run up, and try and minimise its impact, if you like. I don't know. Have a chat with the doc or something, but I mean, I don't want to be slapped on a load of tablets for the sake of it. And that leads me on to my second thing. So I think, obviously, people have come to know me through these videos, I'd like to think. 100% honest about my experiences and what I've done and where I've been and stuff. But now's the time I feel, that there's something else you guys should know, and that was that through all my years of gambling, there were some really, really low points, as there is with all of us. Points that I really collapsed under, and got myself into some right financial shit. Well, again, like we all do, see no way out and stuff. And I was admitted on several occasions into psychiatric care because of my mental state. I mean, I was just in fucking bits. So the issue is there. I kind of, on the first admission, I mean, I pretty much had a nervous breakdown, I think, with it all, because the debts were mounting and bills weren't getting paid. I had a mortgage at the time and stuff, and all of this shit that I was trying to hide just come to a fucking, like a spot, wasn't it? It's just ready to explode, so I had nowhere to go, and my brain just shut down on me, I just really, really struggled. So I cried for help a little bit beforehand, and been to the doctors and been put on some antidepressants and stuff, but obviously that as a plaster to the problem, isn't it? I wasn't depressed, I was in shit. And I was going to be exposed fairly soon, because I just couldn't get out of this fucking hole. So yeah, so once I'd mentally just collapsed, there was no other option really, unfortunately, at that time, but to admit me into yeah, psychiatric care. So I went into a secure unit in where I live down here, and you know, while they took care of me and sort of got me on some heavy old stuff, you know, just to, I was out of control, just out of control. Not a particularly nice place as you'd imagine, but it's full of you know, extremely you know, ill people, you know, that needed constant supervision and care, you know, which, you know, at that time I was one of them, you know, because I was probably a danger to myself, you know, and the way I was acting and behaving, I mean, I was probably a danger to everyone, to be fair. So it was, you know, at that time the right place for me to be. However, once I started to, shall we say, recover a little bit in there and start feeling a bit more compos mentis and you know, getting on with, you know, my thoughts were starting to swing back round in the right direction. Obviously, I got better, well enough for them to discharge me. Okay, so at that time, obviously, the house I added and the girlfriend I had, you know, that we had the house together and stuff and what have you. She didn't want to end the relationship, but I did. Just I wanted to break away and just I didn't want to go back to the house, so it was decided that we were going to sell the house and stuff. So that all went through. I went back to my mum's and stuff, and I kind of thought it was a new start, but you know, being back at your mum's, you know, it's again that hard pill to swallow, isn't it? You know, so love her to bits, but you know, once you've moved out, you know, going back is hard work. You know, it's mum's rules or none, isn't it? You know. So yeah, so I you know, got on some benefits and stuff because obviously I wasn't really still fit to work and what have you. And just got up to my old game again. You know, I was just out in the piss all the time, and you know, what little money I did have, I was fluffing and just going nowhere. Put loads of weight on. I mean, you wouldn't know it now. I'm sort of 13 stone now, but I got up to nearly 20 stone. You know, just binge eating, not looking after myself in any way, shape or form. So yeah, that was yeah, pretty crazy. But every time I hit the shit, I kind of got myself back into the care of the psychiatric unit, and I felt safe there. And that was the danger. I kind of you know, got in there. Obviously I wasn't right. I mean, thinking about it, just the fact I wanted to go back in there to get away from everything is pretty you know, it's not the thoughts of the same person, but you know, I did feel safe in there and felt like that you know, none of the debts and stuff could get at me in there, you know. And just selfishly, while I was in there, obviously people were running around after me and, you know, making calls. I mean, if you know, if you're old enough now and you're living on your own and stuff and you've got to manage your stuff, it's a fucking ball ache, isn't it? You know, the calls you've got to make to banks, this, that, and, you know, it's never ending, you know. And I had to deal with none of that because I'm crashed out in the psychiatric unit, you know. So looking back at it, it was extremely selfish of me, you know, to just dump myself in there, you know, as and when. But you know, that's the past anyway. Moving on to today, I mean, I have been in there for this is, you know, when are we now? 14 years, something like that, I think it would be. I can't be exact on that, but nowhere near it, you know. So, you know, there's my reluctance of going to, you know, the doctors with the way I feel in the winter months, because they're probably inclined to think I'm going scatty again, which I'm not. I'm in a good place now, as we all know. This is the time I'm telling you about it, because I wanted you to know I'm in a good place now, you know, because I am. Just feeling a bit of the winter blues, and that's it. So you know, but as I've said in the past videos, you know, my goal now, or my what I want to achieve, yeah, is just that self-love. Okay, you know, learning the love yourself business that I keep bleating on about, and I'm still working towards that. Okay, I accept myself for not being perfect. Okay, as I've mentioned a few times, and I accept my little quirky ways and what I get up to. I don't expect anything from anybody, you know. Thoughts and actions, that's all I can control, you know. I can't control other people and what they do and what they say, you know, but, you know, at the end of the day, I think I'm quite a strong person, but all of these little things that I've learned makes me doubt that, you know. And I haven't got a problem with it. I've just got to organise it and you know, and rationalise with it, if you like, you know. Because I'm clearly not as strong mentally, emotionally as you know. I think I'm quite a sensitive person, actually, so I take things to heart, and that moves me, lo and behold, onto my third thing. So I watched Katie's last video, which was really interesting. And that's basically about, you know, other people. She was describing, you know, going on holiday with her ex-partner and stuff, and the feeling wasn't right, you know, and obviously the relationship was, you know, pretty much over. We've all been there. You're in a relationship that's, you know, done and dusted a long time before, you know. And you're still grinding it out and still fucking being horrible to each other, and you know, it's just a weird thing, isn't it? You know, that you survive and you carry on in these relationships when they're done, you know. But the emphasis of what she was saying, I kind of take away, and you know, I'm just relating that to everyone. I always think this is the same because of my sensitivity and the way I am, and you know, when we're gambling, so this is looking back to when I was gambling, I mean, I had no, you know, there was no ego to me at all. I mean, there wasn't really much now. I mean, I'm a cocky twat and like having a bit of a laugh, but I mean, I haven't really got a chip on my shoulder about anything, because I've had nothing. Do you know what I mean? Just because I'm okay in my job, and you know, I'm a Sparky now, and I've got somewhere to live and stuff. It doesn't make me any better. I've been in the shit end of it, you know. So that doesn't give me an ego now, because I know where I've come from. Do you know what I mean? And we're all the same here, aren't we? But my self-confidence, you know, was gone. You know, it was shot. There was no self-confidence. I don't have a huge amount now, but it's better than what it was. I mean, I can at least look people in the eye for a period of time. If they're too good at looking in the eye, I mean, I will look away briefly. But you know, it's that self-confidence was gone. Yeah. So in them days, I used to look for people in my life, so working and what have you. And I think Katie mentioned this again. It's this codependency thing. But you know, I used to look for them to nurture me in life and make my day better. The pitfall to that is that being sensitive as I would, if other people were experiencing hardship or, you know, problems at home or stuff like that, I'd listen. I'm great at giving advice, fantastic at it, shit at fucking listening to it and dealing with it from my own point of view. Darren stopped gambling back in the day, and you've got to do this, you've got to do that, and I wouldn't, you know what I mean? So I'm not very good with my own advice, but talking to people. I'm great at sorting out shit. I'm a fault finder by trade. I mean, you know, that's what I do. The most challenging thing for me in life, in my job, is fault finding. I love it. It's the best part of the job. I love solving things, you know. So that's that. You know, people talking to me in my day-to-day life, and people that were close, like people I work with and stuff, would always come and chat and stuff. But the pitfall, the downside to that, is that I used to go away at the end of the day, and I've absorbed that energy, you know, that negativity from somebody else, and that would almost dictate my mood. No, not almost, certainly dictate my mood. So a particular example is one bloke that I worked with all the time. I mean, we were thick as thieves, the pair of us, so we spent a lot of time. He spent more time with me than he did his wife, and I spent more time with him than I did my partner at the time. I mean, we were just constantly working long days, you know. He didn't really want to go home, and neither did I. So that's, you know, why we spent so much time together. We had great laugh, great banter, yeah, and just thick as thieves. But he was in a particularly bad place in life. You know, financially, he was shit. Lo and behold, he didn't know about me. But because I hold my cards close to my chest, but he felt he could open up because we were good friends. But I used to take that on, you know, and somehow it made me feel better, knowing that he was struggling. I mean, that's why I probably latched onto him, because deep down inside he was probably, you know, just about on a par with me, but you wouldn't have known it because I never told him nothing about me. You know, he knew what he knew, but he didn't know the dark secret, shall we say, yeah? Whereas he wanted to speak to me about you know, his problems, and I was there to advise and stuff. Financially, I couldn't help him. I didn't have a pot to piss him, but you know, talking through, and you know, when he wanted to laugh, we'd laugh. When he wanted to talk, we'd talk. You know, but yeah, sorry. Going back, that pitfall, the downside to it is that if he was in a sort of downer mood on a particular day, and you know, very thoughtful about stuff, and you know, just things ticking over, and he wanted to chat about things, and there was not so much banter and laughter, then that day would take its toll on me. So I'd come home, drop him off or what have you, come back to mine, and I'd feel that. I'd still feel that sort of heaviness and darkness, you know, on me. And that's because of, obviously, you know, I had no self-confidence. I had no personality, for want of a better phrase. You know, it was nothing to me. I was just existing. I didn't know who I was. I had nothing to offer. All my goal was to gamble and make sure that nobody knew I was gambling. You know, that was all it was. Everything else really was irrelevant. But hearing other people's sorry stories, I needed that to feel better. But I would advise, and I did care. Do you know what I mean? It's not like I'm just like, give me your bad shit because I need to feel great. You know, he was telling me it, and I generally wanted to help as well. So there's that rewarding thing. I felt I was useful, yeah, and somebody needed me in a time where I felt really fucking useless, and just like, what was the point? You know, why would anybody have a use for me? Why would anybody be interested? You know. So that's going on to that bit as well. But you know, I'm now, you know, this length of period of time that I've gone on, can't get my words out, you know, without gambling. I mean, it's slowly improved. I mean, I do still, you know, days I'm not great. My confidence ain't fine. Anxiety maybe kicks about a little bit. Obviously now the darkness, but these are just all years have been beaten up by gambling. Okay, I don't know. I'm not far enough down the line, am I? If I'm still doing these in 10 years, helping out, I'll tell you whether it improves. But I haven't noticed a drastic improvement over the years. I think once I got to a year gamble free, I think I felt my best actually, and I felt, because it was such an achievement, and I felt really, really good. But where it's sort of after that, it just becomes a little bit of the norm. You don't take anything for granted, obviously, and then just it just starts creeping in. It's that like placebo thing, I suppose, isn't it? It's if you've got aches and pains and you take a tablet because somebody says it's going to work, well, you know what placebo is, but you take it, and instantly, after a week or so, you feel great. But if you carried on taking placebo for a couple of years, it's going to kind of work out that it's not actually doing nothing. Do you know what I mean? It's that thing. The short-term effects of placebo. Fantastic. Long term, it's doing you no good, so it will creep back in. So that's where I'm at. So, like I said, I'm sorry for the big long absence. I'm going to have a bit of my coffee. Left it go cold, and look at my cup. Oh, it won't come up on it. It's I can resist everything but temptation. It's a line from Oscar Wilde. Yeah. Never a true thing, isn't it? I can resist everything but temptation. Fantastic line. So things are going good. I just, as I mentioned, still gamble free. Still want to come and do these vids, and I will be doing them. I feel great. I'm 30 minutes in, and I feel fantastic for saying it. I've picked up as the video's gone along and just feel it, so it just shows to you guys that doing these help me as much as I hope they help you, so I wish I'd done it a little bit sooner, but for people out there that suffer with a depression or whatever, how tricky it might be, but I do. I feel great for coming on, so that's the the incentive for me to get a few more up in a bit of a shorter time than I have done between the last one and this. So I hope all the other vloggers out there are doing okay. Tonight is a Wednesday, okay, so I will be putting this up fairly shortly. I'm due to meet Andy tomorrow. He's down this way. He's going great guns with his new job, I think, but I don't think he's got any plans to do a vlog or anything. We'll see that when we get there tomorrow, but be amazing just to meet up with him and have a chat and get him a coffee and a pork pie or something. Do you know what I mean? That's what they like up north, innit? Pork pies. No, it'd be a pie, wouldn't it? Steak pie or something. Yeah, mash and whatever, gravy. Sorry, mate. So I'll let you know how that goes anyway, but like I say, if we don't do a video, it'd just be really nice to catch up with him and shake his hand and actually sit down with him. It's a whole different world sitting in front of a camera than it is actually meeting somebody, so that'd be good. Oh Christ, he's phoning me now. Oh, that's a bit down mute that. So I hope you're doing all okay. Wish you all the best. Anybody wants to come and have a chat with me, then just leave some comments in the video. Okay, very approachable, and I appreciate everybody, all your feedback and stuff. But you're more than welcome to come and leave a comment if you want to have a chat or something. you know, and just make sure them barriers are in place, okay, for gambling. So you know, you should know them all by now if you've been watching the vids and everybody else's vids and stuff. You know, but you're not alone. Day by day as it goes, you know, one step at a time, okay. But keep all the barriers in place, and let's try and prevent or break that triangle, you know, that vicious triangle, the money, time and opportunity, okay. If you can break that at one leg of it somewhere, it doesn't work, okay. You know, it's just you know, if you just, you know, picture that triangle, if you snap it here, yeah, it's, as long as that triangle's not connected, it can't work, okay. Nice to see Trevor. I see your video, mate. You're back and looking okay, doing well. Stay strong, bud. You know, and Katie and everybody. So yeah, so you know, all is good. So apologies for the long delay. You know, tell me off. And it encourages me to come back. But yeah, I expect you all thought I'd fallen off the planet or something, but yeah, I'm okay. But yeah, so I hope, you know, that's a little bit more insightful about me, and I felt that probably time was right to say that. You know, just something that's you know, I think about, you know. So you know, I'm not trying to find answers to the way I am. I'm just trying to learn with who I am. Do you know what I mean? And that's probably just as hard sometimes. But yeah, so you know, keep good. Go and get registered with GamStop. Okay, if you have problems online. You know, with the bookmakers and stuff, there's a similar scheme. Multi-operator, the Moses one, and there's Noses as well, which is the national one. GamCare, Samaritans, if you're feeling terrible, you know, give them a bell. They're always there to have a little chat with you. Gamblers Anonymous as well. Okay, so there's loads of things out there. Just Google it. Simple Google search if you're struggling with your gambling. Okay, don't sit in silence. Okay. Go and find yourself some help. There's free counselling sessions out there. If you go to GamCare and things like that, they're pointing in the right direction. But Google for this kind of thing, you know, in your local area, will point you to things that can help. Okay, don't sit in silence and do it, and then get yourself some help, and you know, concentrate on you for a while. Okay, and you know, day at a time, life gets better. You know, and all them relationships and stuff, you know, will gradually improve, okay? But just be honest, you know, we all get to that point where we just don't want to do it anymore, okay? It's the, you know, the slogan with gambling, when the fun stops, stop. When the fun stops, it's too fucking late, you know, it was for me. So, you know, I know what it's implying. You know, but we get to that stage where we want to stop, but we just fucking can't, you know. So they don't say that, do they? But yeah, so just dig deep, do some research, get yourself involved in as many things as you can. Watch these vids, watch everyone else's vids, read. You know, there's loads of knowledge out there, and get to some support groups. You know, and speak to some trusted friends, family and stuff, you know, if you can, okay? Keep your money tied up. Monzo, again, I say it on every one. Monzo's a bank account, you know, that you know, no different to a high street bank. You get a card, direct debits, all that thing, all set up, but they won't allow gambling transactions to be used, you know, with the card, okay? You can set withdrawal limits as well. If you're a bookies gambler, you know, you're in there, you can speak to them and get your withdrawal down to £10 a day from the cash machine. Yeah, I mean, most banks it's 250, 300, isn't it? You know, so give them a call. They'll drop it down to a tenner. That's going to stop you in your tracks, isn't it? You know, of course you can't use the card in the bookies to make a transaction, but you could still go to the co-op and put 25 quid on contactless for shopping and stuff. Okay, so you know, there's, you know, if you want to help yourself, there's things out there now more than there ever has been. And I did see on a particular website, can't remember where it was, but a lot of the high street banks now, you know, are following suit. Okay, so it might be worth you know, if you don't want to change bank, phoning your current bank up and see whether they're implement this you know, restriction on gambling transactions from your current bank account. You know. Definitely worth a call. If they don't, you know, they're not going to be far off it. I think they're all going to do it eventually. But you know, Monzo's there, and it's. I mean, I've used Monzo since their inception, really. So, cracking idea. First to do it, and I will be loyal with them because of it. You know, friendly stuff, amazing. So yeah, okay. So rant over, people. Thank God, everyone says. But yeah. Thanks for you know, all the support and stuff, and I'm glad I've done this video today. I feel a lot better for it, and I hope, you know, you guys appreciate it. Okay, so yeah, love to you all, and it won't be so long till the next one. All right, okay. Cheers then. Ta-ra. Bye.